Hey everybody, just waking up, having some coffee. Thought I would document another Mayan site. Those who have followed my channel know that I have documented, I don't know, maybe 50, 60 Mayan cities down here. A lot more pyramid sites than there are in Egypt and Mexico here. This is the ancient site of Becán right down here. You see it's very large. A few different areas here peeking out from the jungle. Let's go take a look around. Here is a look from one of the plazas here. They say this place may have got started around 2,500 years ago in the pre-classic period, and that's a time where they were transitioning the Olmec into the Mayas, and it's kind of a hazy period as far as exact history. Here's what they call Structure 9 in the city. This is a very, very impressive Mayan structure. This place got going around 2,500 years ago when it started thriving. When the origins of the city were placed, well, that's still a bit of a mystery, I guess. And the place was abandoned probably about 800 years ago. Here's a look at some of the ruins here. Very impressive staircase coming up to a platform on this pyramid-type structure here. It says the site was first documented in the archaeological literature in 1934 by Carl Rupert and John Dennison on an expedition to the region sponsored by the Carnegie Institution of Washington, who named it Becán after the conspicuous ditch surrounding the center of the city. The ancient name of the site is not known. From 1969 to 1971, archaeological excavations were made at Becán, sponsored by Tulane University and the National Geographic Society. Here is a look at the site plan of Becán. There was a moat with water that encircled the whole city here. Over 70-acre city here, pretty impressive. There is evidence of the ancient trench or moat around the city here. It's huge, covers the entire place, and I guess it's really evident when it rains out. Here's ground level view, looking up at that structure I just showed. Very impressive. Certainly some ceremonies were carried out here in ancient times. Here's a look at one of the courtyards here. Certainly all the trees would have been gone in the original form. Come up here, look around the top of one of these structures here. Still lasted this long after maybe 2,000 plus years. Built very well. These people knew what they were doing. These pillars up here had symbolic significance, that is for sure. It's a good look around there. Here is what is obviously the ancient ball court here, where they played a symbolic ball game, had to do with the cosmos, creation. Here, still very impressive ruins here today. Here is a Mayan rock carving, a depiction of this sacred ball game, and this comes from maybe one of the next sites I'll talk about, not too far away from here. Here's an artist's reproduction of a rock carving on a stela here, depicting a ball player at Becán. Here is a bowl found at Becán, highly decorated, pretty cool object here. A jaguar head with an open mouth with a human head inside, that is really cool. Serpent symbolism up on top. They are telling a story with these decorated artifacts. Here's a better look at that artifact. Human head inside the jaws of the jaguar here. That is really cool. Here's another vantage point from the city. There's probably a lot of stonework underneath the ground and going back into the jungle here, but they have cleared this place pretty good. You can go visit here. Probably closed in the present times, but like a lot of ancient sites, probably opening in the near future. Here's another look around. You can see how the ruins are kind of disappearing into the jungle back there. The stonework here, very impressive. The number of man hours, it's kind of mind-boggling. There's more than one plaza here. Stonework here, pretty impressive. People lived in this site for maybe 15, 20 centuries at least. The origin, maybe 2,500 years ago, 3,000 years ago, when they first started building here, maybe. Not a lot of for sure's here. Other Mayan places get more attention, but as you see here from the ruins, a very impressive city. This place was probably occupied for almost 2,000 years. From what we know, the archaeological work here is not as extensive as other places, but certainly well worth it here. Here's a few more looks from the site, not licks. Inside a structure here. Centuries of tree growth certainly taking their toll in certain parts of this area here. There is a look, more of the stonework. Kind of a tunnel feature here. Here's a stucco relief, and the Mayans certainly had a unique way of expressing their ideas and their beliefs. Here's what they think is a Mayan leader at the site here. Here's an artifact found at Becán, a funerary tripod, they call this. Teotihuacan. These people had connections and trade with Teotihuacan, and that's what this reflects. One unfortunate note from the site here, it says in 1984, while conducting research at the site, one of Mexico's most important archaeologists, Roman Pinachan, fell from the pyramid at Becán, becoming paralyzed. On October 13, 2001, an homage was paid to Pina by the National Museum of Anthropology. It was announced that Lucia Campana had discovered a pre-Hispanic tomb in the 9th building at the site the previous day. Here's an area where they put some of their symbols and glyphs right in their buildings here. Mayans, that is not uncommon. They say areas of this place were painted in red and black paint. Get a little faint idea of that right here. Here's an area where they have the symbol of the sun on this bench type structure here underneath the symbols for the sky. Here's a view from the top of one of the pyramids here. This is about a little less than 100 miles north of Tikal, kind of right in the middle of the Yucatan. Somebody lost their legs up here, it appears. I'll give you a look. Distance views from on top of the pyramid here. That is a look at the very impressive ancient site of Becán, Mexico. Kind of underrated if you ask me, but I'm just trying to be as thorough as possible, documenting all these Mayan cities. If you learn just one thing from every video you make, and you make a lot of videos, well, that's a lot of learning. That is the Mayan site of Becán. Looks like it is up kind of on a raised, just slightly raised up area here. But that will give you a good look. This is in Campeche, Mexico. Small town of Becán, right by it. The modern name, we have no idea what this place was called originally. That is one of several dozen, maybe as many as 75 or 100 Mayan pyramid cities. Hope you thought that was cool, and you all have. Very safe.